Hey people, Indra here, 3v3, Typhon Maya, blue team. Panzer Battalion with an Inquisitor. Offensive hero with powerful control abilities begins in melee combat but can get specialized ranged weapons alongside doubled plague champion. We have the King of Pythons with a custom scheme by the look of it, and Rostam 40k rocking some Black Legion. I think this is the regular Black Legion. These guys start off with a ranged weapon doing damage over time, strong utility and support, and they can also get melee weapons. Red team, a whole bunch of Orks. First up is Cry with a Kommando Nob, infiltrating hero that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up. Orky style begins in ranged combat with a twin link shooter. This is the Death Skulls elite scheme. Alongside this fella that always changes their name. I believe this time it's something to do with business, so I'm going to call them business. They were also known as BloodRaIN, but I haven't seen them use that name for ages. With a Warboss, a melee hero walking through objects, very strong offense, disruption and support. You have the Blood Axes, I think. Yep, with the caps and stuff. And rounding off the team, gonna have to leave this action for a second. It's Val.Hero with a Mekboy. Teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat, puts out some good damage. Has a bunch of Orky gadgets kicking off though already in the mid. With maybe a 3v3 fight in a second, certainly a 2v2 over here. Warboss has been persuaded to leave by damage over time plague champion stuff. Commando tying up some poor guardsmen. Here comes some sluggers. Lots of Daka from the shooter boys. CSM in heavy cover there though with some Nurgle worship. Got the plague champion very low. Maybe they should have moved up a bit and gone after the heretics there. Meanwhile towards the south, doom blasting and retreating heretics. Sluggers are now on that plague champion. Very vulnerable to melee early on. Gonna go down, and does go down. Lots of Daka on him too. Orks still have a presence in the mid. Looks like both the heroes are gone though. Not sure how long they can stick around here. A bunch of ranged firepower from the CSM. Double CSM in fact. And the guardsman. Rostam with some heretics. Both plague champions have fallen. Inquisitor could get some XP for reviving them. Should be in revivable positions I think if this stuff stays here. This guy might be a bit trickier to get if the Orks are around. Some double gens. Single gens. What about the blue team? Just a node going up here and nothing over here. Sentinel applying some pressure, getting onto the power. They should be able to bash the generator at least. Here comes an angry Warboss though. I mean, he's always angry. Just varying degrees of anger. Looters on the way for business, as I'm calling them. And that's triple the shooters for Cry to help pressure the Sentinel, I guess. I mean, more Daka is always better, right? Does it have the ground pound? Does not have ground pound. Took a while to back off, but it looks like it's going to be okay. Towards the mid now, Plague Champion is up for King of Pythons. Rostam's is going to be revived by King of Pythons, Plague Champion, which will level him to 2. Shooter boys here with a Nob leader and big shooters on the way. Sluggers applying some pressure, isolating themselves a little bit here though. There's the bolter fire of the CSM and the double Plague Champions up there. Triple Chaos Space Marines by King of Pythons. Commando's fallen, trying to push the power. Catachans in play now. These guys are very versatile. Good in melee, have shotguns, can disrupt from long and short range, can suppress stuff, can even support with a smoke grenade. Like that. To support those Chaos Space Marines. Some very clear heresy there, fellas. Looters keeping the blue team back though, and the triple CSM all retreating. Leaving Panzer Battalion alone. Inquisitor gets Daka to death, but so does the Warboss. Meanwhile, towards the south, we got some Nurgle worship. We have an aspiring champion heretic squad. We have a Mekboy turret up. Always cool to see these things. They do full damage at all the ranges, but they do not suppress, like the Plague Champion turret, for example. Also the Tech Marine turret. Red team have got the mid. Have that 2-to-1 cap. VPs are quite close together on this map, so if you force off the enemy team from the mid, you can push on and get a decap at least, perhaps. Especially if you have a jump unit or a teleporting unit or something. As the red team do with the Mekboy. Warboss back to his feet. Mekboy is almost level 3. Any war gear for these fellas. We do have spiky armor on the way for businesses Warboss. Kommando Nob still down. Might be a little bit too far forward, but the Warboss is giving it a go. Eternal War on all 3 of those Chaos Space Marines. That's 45 power spent on Eternal War. But they should be chucking out a fair amount of DPS. Also got some Havocs up. That's a pretty heavy tier 1 for King of Pythons. Nothing for the Plague Champion. Can't really afford it. We do have light grenades though for Rostam. Orks being overrun, but the sheer amount of ranged firepower here by King of Pythons. All those bolt guns, the damage over time bolter of course, and the heavy bolter, keeping the heretics vanilla to just support with worship, which is fine. Can always doom blast heretics, sluggers and stuff if they get close. Shooter boys being chased off the south. 396 to 473 on the VP. Some Daka flying in on the heretics. They're a little bit too far forward here, these heretics. Can't worship if you're dead. Doom blast on the sluggers here. CSM can turn to engage. There we go, keeps them in play. Suppression on the havocs thanks to the shooters, and they're aiming what's that. Also have a big shoot up for the Mekboy. Just saw the battery pack heal there on those shooter boys. Trying to hold here is Val.Hero, waiting for support, and here comes the support from Business and now from Cry. Cry goes tier 2 first. Panzer Battalion has some spotters up. Heavy tier 1s from Panzer Battalion and King of Pythons. Can they put pressure on the power with it? Noble Worship still going strong. Heretics are not backing off. Havoc's having to retreat, so the suppression is gone. They can maybe flood through there, the Orks. Plague Champion goes down. Did get the Black Grenade off though, did Rostam, before they went down. Panzer Battalion backs away, stays in play, so at least maybe he can defend the power a bit. Decapping the mid are the Orks. War Banner providing the passive war bonuses for all this stuff. Doom Blast and a back off from the heretics there. Catachans with their grenade launcher from long range, messing with the Orks. We do have a northern contested power that's blue and noded and genned. This one is not noded in the south. No action on the southern powers from what I've seen. There's a War Banner over there, so maybe there was at some point. There's that Catachan smoke grenade. Kind of tough to notice exactly when you're in the range of it, you know. I wish the game was a little bit more consistent with that kind of thing. There's lots of smoke effects. I mean, sometimes you get a debuff circle, sometimes you get a buff circle, sometimes you don't. It would be nice to see a little blue buff circle from that smoke grenade. Sometimes there are issues with buff circles and stuff lasting too long. Apparently it's quite a tricky thing to get right. Inquisitors going after those looters on the ledge there. Python just brute forcing this with triple CSM and that Noble Worship. But here comes a Death Dread, and they can't do a whole lot about this in tier 1. Panzer and Rostam both go tier 2 in decent time, but I mean, Cry already has a Death Dread in their face with burners and bits. So more hit points, and those burners on the front are greater taker down generators. Chopping through the Chaos Space Marines. That thing has vehicle armor, so they can't really touch it with their regular bolt guns. 347 to 454. Look at this though, Rostam is on the power. Just chucked a Black Grenade over there. Doesn't think it hit anything though. Not on the initial explosion anyway, or it would have been affected. Look at this though. Bile Spewer is up. Fantastic weapon, but had to get very close to target those shooters apparently, and got dackered. Center is uncapped. There's a war truck for Cry. Support vehicle for Orks allows it to reinforce and transport infantry. Great synergy with the sluggers, giving them some more mobility and reinforcing them in the field. They can get onto the power and help out this, although Death Dread's done a great job by itself, so it looks like they're going to leave it. Some anti-vehicle on the field now. The Sentinel with a missile launcher, using those crack missiles to do some damage to the Death Dread. Also can switch to frag missiles for anti-infantry. Death Dread is sticking around. Took 3 shots unanswered. Takes down a node. Looks like, I think Cry has just queued up a bunch of commands here. Has now queued up commands for this, and it's just sticking with it for now. 346 to 454. It is creating some space though. Look at this. The blue team are kind of chasing this thing. Meanwhile, red team can maybe cap up the mid. I'm not sure why it's not capped already. Steal some cool Mekboy turrets. We've also got looters that can suppress. Blue team have just abandoned their chase of the Death Dread apparently, and are going to try to contest the middle. And they've stopped the cap. There's Hammer of the Witches on the Commando, going for the booby traps as they retreat away there. Catachans want to steal that northern power. Death Dread is gonna get 2 full bashes here, I think. We've got Plague Marines in play for Rostam. I mean, even if the Death Dread goes down now, it's done a hell of a lot of work. Not only in bashing power, but also distracting some of the players. Kicking off in the mid though, with a big 2v2 fight. Lots of Daka. That was a heal there, a Breath of Nurgle from King of Python's Plague Champion. Warboss gets in there and stomps. Both of those blue team heroes went down though from the sheer amount of Orky firepower here. The Death Dread is still going. Las Cannon should finish it off here. One more shot, yeah, with some help from the Sentinel as you saw. King of Pythons taking a little bit of an angle here to cut off some of the shots they could take. And we've got a Noxious Cloud spawned in. I assume from King of Pythons, but it might have been Rostam. They've got slightly less red. 346 to 454. Any marks for these Chaos Space Marines? Nope. Lost their Heretics, they had to replace them. And here they are, the replaced Heretics. You'll be fine, lads, I'm sure. You have some stick bombs and light grenades. Stick bombers are Val.Heroes. Not sure where they are right now. There they are. Here comes the Bile Spewer Plague Champion. Getting some good hits. The Bile Spewer does some decent damage and debuffs damage and speed by 20%. It's a really good weapon, I think. Also fantastic at bashing power. But it's the Heretics doing that at the moment. With some CSM assistance. They're going to get all the gens. Don't think the CSM can take the node again. It's being rebuilt there. Warboss, fed up with all this stuff in the way, has gone for the Power Claw. 95 heavy melee DPS. Also spiky armor up as you saw before, and Angry Bits is in. Allows him to close the distance on that blob of Chaos Space Marines perhaps. Don't have any aspiring champions. In fact, I think the only thing King of Pythons has got up in tier 2 is the replaced Heretics. It's got a lot of keep to pay on those triple CSM and Heretics and Havocs. Warboss charging in. Use your choppers, and Ardboys put on himself global buffs from the Warboss. More melee damage, more melee skill, and Ardboys giving him 25% all damage resistance. There's some Nurgle worship. Should be able to mop this up, I think. Goes after the Heretics this time. Taking out a model per swing, basically. Havocs with a autocannon now, so tons of damage to pretty much all targets, but loses the suppression. Warboss able to get in. Took a bunch of damage doing so, but still leading the line and still chopping through stuff. Just yelled at those Havocs before the Warboss retreated there. Commandos in play. All sneaky like. The Pathogens can spot him. The aspiring champion Heretics can spot him. But the Heretics are back. Looks like they spotted that. What did they call it? Just an explosive. A booby trap, I guess. 340 to 398. Red Orky team have the center. Commando's gone for that northern power. They're still changing hands on it. Not just bashing it. Lots of war banners. Still a couple of Orky Mekboy turrets there as well. That Inquisitor's going to take a bunch of damage really quickly. Had to retreat. Stick bombs flying in. 326 to 398. More stick bombs. Oh, the stun bombs actually from the stick bombers. Really good hit there. Daka is pouring in. I think they should focus down the Plague Champion because he has the Breath of Nurgle. And then try to get a little bit closer to the Heretics maybe. Those stick bombers are doing some fantastic work. Holy crap. They killed like 4 CSM in that volley, I think. They throw 2 lots of stick bombs at a time. You can't really aim them super consistently, but they get in the general area. There's another Noxious Cloud, I assume from Rostam, as they try to bash stuff down here. Taking down the War Banners, the Bile Spear. Also see Armor of Pestilence in play. The Blight Grenades, I think, maybe hit those guys before they got in there. And Plague Marines might be able to take out the War Truck. Oh, knocked over and then stunned by the 2 weird boys in play. Val.Hero and Business, also known as BloodRaIN. 289 to 398. Warboss charging in. Creating space from the mid. Hail Fury strike on the double shooters. Able to get right back to power bashing. Good play, I think, from Business and Cry, getting straight onto the power here. There wasn't much of an opening, but they're certainly taking advantage of it. There's the Foot of Gork. Would have been very, very bad news for those guys if they didn't retreat. And there's the Warp Vomit stun too. The Widboy is such a badass. He's got a cool, like a melee special attack too. I'm not sure what his melee DPS is. You don't see him in melee very often. But he can knock stuff over. Taking a lot of damage here actually. Don't die. When I'm talking you up, Mr. Weirdboy. There we go. He's going to get away. Heretic's knocked over. Here comes the Foot of Gork. They are going to move forward to escape it, and it's done well. Zap is thrown in there. Another Warp Vomit. Look at the control and devastation Weirdboys can bring. But look at this for devastation. The Imperial Abyss from one of the Plague Champions. King of Pythons, maybe? Global Nuke for Chaos. Massive amounts of damage right in the center there. And he can be pulled in by chains. You also take some flame damage around the center, I believe. I don't think it wiped anything, but it did do a decent chunk of damage. And it's allowed the blue team to creep forward here. Down goes that Orky turret. Stick bombs flying in. Seems some really good ability usage here from the Orks. Well-timed stick bombs, good usage of the Weirdboys too. Warboss leading the line well. Here he goes after the Plague Champion. Nope. Just charges through him. Then gets stunned. He's got Ardboys and User Choppers on himself. What was he stunned by? Was it the stick bombers stun bombs? Oh, maybe it was Hammer of the Witches. Nope, Inquisitor's down. It wasn't Hammer of the Witches. 218 to 398. Didn't actually see what stunned him there. Orks fighting the mid still. All the Ork turrets are down. They still have a War Banner there. 213 to 398. Cry down to just 2 units. But the Orks can really recover in tier 3 super well. If Cry can get to tier 3 with little upkeep, they can come out swinging. And they're not too far off going tier 3. Look how little upkeep they have now. 324 per minute on the requisition. There's another Noxious Cloud. They can dive into the War Truck maybe. Pushing alongside the Noxious Cloud there. Does not do friendly fire. 193 to 398. Tier 3 for Val.Hero. Tier 3 also for Panzer and King of Pythons. Don't think King of Pythons got a tier 2 unit up. I don't think Panzer Battalion did either. He got some upgrades and stuff in tier 2. Rostam got the Plague Marines. Still seeing the stick bombs do their thing. Looters up on that little cliff face there doing some good work. Went for the revive there, did King of Pythons. Level 6 Plague Champions, done well. But the Orks are holding. Mekboy with the custom force field. Down goes the War Truck though. Plague Marines doing their job. Taking some losses now though. They got a lot of health and a lot of health regen, but they are only regular infantry in their armor. So you get a bunch of regular piercing DPS, and you can take them down. Yes, DPS. What level are these? Are they all level 4? They might be. Those guys are. You spoiled it. What about Cry? Cry's got level 3 shooters as well, but they are chucking out tons of piercing DPS. 153 to 398. Piercing DPS for those that don't know. Sounds like it would pierce armor and stuff, but it's actually the regular kind of bullet damage in this game. Decapping the wreck point. Can they get onto the power? Do they want to get onto the power? You see a bunch of Mark of Tzeentch, triple Mark of Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines at level 3. Talk about chucking out some DPS. And they're going to be potentially very powerful against the tier 3 Orc infantry like Nobs, and Flash Kits are also heavy infantry. In fact, we see a Nob squad on the way here for business. They're all business. Tier 3 for Cry. See what they come out with. Battle Wagon perhaps could do some work here. We do have a Chaos Dreadnought from Rostam. Did not go tier 3. 120 to 398. Creeping forward are the blue team. Looks like maybe they can get a decap. I wonder if we'll see that Plague Fist. We do see Armor of Pestilence for King of Pythons, so they might be thinking Plague Fist next. It is 50 power though to get the Plague Fist, and 35 as you can see for the Armor of Pestilence. Going for the decap are some Chaos Space Marines. Nope, They found a weird boy to shoot. Here comes a weird boy attack. Hit them quite well. Plague Champion goes for the decap now. They're really blobbed up here though. Very susceptible to a Foot of Gork or a... What did you just do, Mr. Weird Boy? You chucked them into your own nuke? I guess that was another player's nuke maybe. Double rocks going in. Did the Mekboy have... I think the Mekboy was trying to do Mega Rumbler there, maybe. That's why the Weird Boy chucked him in, but he chucked in everything. And the Mekboy can teleport himself. It was a very strange move. But they're trying to chuck the Nob squad in? No, they're over here. Hard boys on the Nobs for business. Down to 4 models. Well, they start with 4 models, but maybe they had their Nob leader. Dreadnought backs away. Maybe we'll see Mark of Khorne from this thing to fight the Nobs. Here comes another Dreadnought from Rostam. 96 to 398. Big VP lead. Big VP lead for the Orks. Flash Gits for Cry is how they're coming out swinging in tier 3. Kommando Nob has a rocket launcher. Powerful anti-vehicle weapon. Got that mega boom kit too. Leman Russ with the Executioner Cannon. There's a Foot of Gork. Hits the Heretics. And some very brave shooter boys got the cat there. Well done, fellas. Puts the 2-1 on the blue team. There we go. Over there used to save some Orks. He's also got the Warpath for the Warpath. 86 to 398. Noxious Cloud I don't think hit much. Lots of Daka, lots of Marco Zinc CSM. That would go some shooters there. And here's the double Dreadnoughts. Armed with that autocannon by default. But they also have a underslung twin-linked bolter. There's a fair amount of DPS. Doing well here. Up against the beamy looters though. And I think the Warboss is going to take that one down. Just as I said, they're doing well here. Boom, dead. Curse of Zinc, just like my own nuke. Just kills any unit. Charging in is the Warboss. Gets stunned by Hammer of the Witches. Throws out a stomp. Probably needs to run away now. Nope, he's staying in there. Level 5 with that spiky armor. Staying in there. Level 6 now. Wow. Hard Boy is making him really tanky in there. Surprised they didn't go after the other Dreadnought. I guess they backed away. It is indeed the... oh, there we go. That's what they were doing. They were trying to start the Mega Rumbler away from trouble and then throwing him in. So that the Mega Rumbler continues closer to the enemies. Which is a good strategy, a good tactic I should say. Because like starting up the Mega Rumbler takes a while and he's very vulnerable while he does that. You saw that Nurgle nuke from, I guess, King of Pythons. They have no red now. 80 to 359. Some Heretics coming out in tier 2 for Rostam. Battle Wagon on the way for Val.Hero. Double Flash Gits for Cry. Git Finders on the way. No sign of the blasters yet. Got those snaz guns. Can't do much to the Leman Russ, but they did take down a Sentinel. I think the red team are going to grab the mid here. Looters are going for it. Another Ork turret up from the Mekboy, and why not? Just chuck him in there. Stick Bomb still doing their thing. Plague Champion's trying to come in from an angle here. Being the Death Gun is forced to retreat, and here comes a tank. It's a Mark of Nurgle Chaos Predator. This should be able to do a decent amount of heavy lifting here in the mid for the blue team. This is from King of Pythons. Here comes the Battle Wagon though. The turret goes down. Stun bombs have stunned the tank. Can they go after it now? The Mark of Nurgle tank is very tough. Tons of hit points. Got some health regen and melee resistance. And it's been worshipped there for even more health regen. Still haven't seen a Land Raider Phobos since they made it all demonic and cool. Rostam goes tier 3. Maybe we will see one. And now benefit from worship, which is awesome. The Mekboy flung out of trouble there. But he's now just mega rumbling the trees. I think maybe that was a mistake. Just saw a Purgatus. And now a Rock's thrown in. Absolute craziness in the mid. One of the CSM wiped, I think. Yeah, one of the CSM is down. There's a Noxious Cloud though. 80 to 358. Manticore now getting some shots in from Panzer Battalion. Yeah, there's a little bit of a bug in that you can't see the Manticore's marker on water, which is a bit unfortunate for this map because there's tons of water. It's one of the reasons why I tried to avoid using too much water in my maps. But there's a bunch of it here. It might lead to more Manticore hits than usual. I guess it's just like rendered below the waterline. Tank Buster Barrage doesn't quite hit the tank there. Dreadnought survives somehow. Lumen Russ has found a weird boy to shoot. Oh, but he's infiltrated by Hide the Boys of Cry. Able to get a decap under infiltration, but once you start capping, you get spotted. How many beamy looters is that? 2? Oh, one of them doesn't have a beamy. More Nobs on the way for business, and there's triple flash kits for Cry. Orks started to get close to that critical mass of tier 3 infantry that is very difficult to deal with. Weird boy there does not get away. Damage over time from the side sponson bolters of the Predator, I think, taking it down. Here comes a Nob squad though, with U-jammers and Ard boys, and use your choppers. Purgatus here to stun them. The tank is not moving though. They are dealt with, and they made them waste 2 of their global buffs. The Mekboy trying to come in to support with Mega Rumbler, which will mess with the vehicles. They're taking a lot of damage though. They're going to go down, and they do go down. Manticore Strike. That central island there does have land, since it's an island, and you can see it. Battle Wagon survives. That's a Mark of Tzeentch Dreadnought though. And we have a repair bunker, it seems. Nope, it's the heretics that are repairing. That's a medical bunker actually. Looks like the Nob squad is going to take the mid though. Lots of damage potentially from the Lumen Russ on those Nobs, but it's also in danger of just being rushed by them. Some sneaky commandos here. Their Nob leader has a rocket launcher. Tank Buster Barrage. Couple of decent hits on the Nurgle tank, but there's some Nurgle worship. Weird boy knocks over his own Nob squad, but they're in there, and they have Ard boys from the Warboss again. The cooldown on that thing is like nothing. Seems like you can use it every fight. Go after the Dreadnought, are they? They got Blight Grenaded, and now they're getting Bile Spirit. The Bile Spirit is a really good tool to use against Nobs. Since it's not suppression, you can use the Bilious Discharge and then shoot them to basically stop them from moving. Although your Plague Champion needs to get a little bit closer to do that. I might get shot to bits. They decap the mid. Single cap now for red. Because, oh look, Sneaky Commando got the VP here when I wasn't even looking. They're grabbing it back though. Manticore Strike. It looks like it's rendering on the water just fine right here. Maybe there wasn't quite enough water to mess it up. There's a Noxious Cloud. Foot of Gork. Gets the Las Cannon out of there. Nob squad in the back lines. Were they going after the heretics? They're reinforcing off the bunker, of course. I don't know if those looters can get the mid. Nob squad are persuaded to leave. The Mark of Tzeentch CSM doing a lot of damage. Looters do cap the middle. Look at that. It's a 2-to-1. 30 to 335. Catachans in the back lines now. Almost took out the flash kits. So this guy's level 4, level 3. What about the heroes here? Level 5 Inquisitor. Level 8 Plague Champion down on the VP here with the fist. And level 5 for Rostam's Plague Champion. Level 3 Commando. Level 6 Warboss down. Level 8 Mekboy down. Another Rocks on the VP. That'll stop a cap. And it's well worth it at this stage in the game to spend the nuke to stop a cap, I think. Commando's getting messed up. Having to back away. Dreadnought's doing well. Might be able to take out the battle wagon here. Does take out the battle wagon with the help of the Plague Marines, but it's taking beamy death gun shots now. Might take another one. Nope. That seemed to aim at the heretics there. That looked like stick bombs on the looters. That was weird. Here comes a Nob squad. That is an unmarked Chaos Predator. I think they're trying to get to the Dreadnought. Purgatus in the mid, meanwhile. Can't keep my eye on everything. Unfortunately, there's a rocket run in the back lines. Did they get the Dreadnought? The Dreadnought seems to be still alive. Nob squad are persuaded to leave. Got some Nurgle worship. And some repairs for the Chaos Dreadnought too. 3 Chaos Predators on the field. The Nob squads have been dealt with pretty well so far, it has to be said. There's another Mark of Nurgle for King of Pythons. Not sure what Rostam's going to go for. Maybe we'll see triple Mark of Nurgle tanks in there. We need some more AV, I think, the Orks. I mean, Nob squads are great AV, but they are being dealt with relatively well. Lots of damage pouring in from the CSM here. Look at this. Look at that damage on the Nobs. Manticore on the mid. They could see that marker as well. It was on the land. There we go, some suppression to stop those guys doing their thing. Well, at least one of them. Noxious Cloud. Backs them all off. Blue team have the center. They have the 2-to-1. Can they get this done? What is this? It's a sneaky commando. What's he doing? Going for the VP? Maybe. Did you get a mark yet? Yes, it's triple Mark of Nurgle tanks. And there's a level 4 Leman Russ in there with almost 1600 hit points. It's a lot of vehicle armor to get through, a hell of a lot. I mean, even the Dreadnought is up over 1000 hit points at level 3.
Sir?
Can we somehow steal their VP, says Panzer Battalion. Yelling over the din of warfare. Commando, I don't know what he was up to actually. Oh, he put a... Is that his booby trap? That looks like a booby trapped bunker. Yeah, I can't select the booby trap there. Here comes some Orks. War truck goes down. Need some more beamy looters, some more tank busters maybe. Got some more commandos for Cry. There's a Purgatus. Sluggers and stick bombers thrown in by the weird boy maybe. It's kicking off. Absolute madness in the mid. Just can't get close enough. What are they being suppressed by? Not sure. I don't see any Havocs in there. Got some Blastmaster Noise Marines though. Oh! Tank goes down. There we go. 2 Nob squads and 2 looters with beamy death guns getting it done. I don't think they're quite close enough to get the other tanks right now. But this one might also go down. Nob squad aren't going after it. They're going after the Noise Marines here. Now persuaded to leave. Level 3 Nobs doing some decent work. Blue team still have the mid though, and there's a Nurgle nuke. Imperial Abyss, I think from Rostam. Hits the retreating Nob squad too. Takes one of them down. Blue team retain the mid. 2 of the tanks went down though. They got 2 of them. We have 200 points, says Val.Hero. Oh, I think maybe one of the Orc players wanted to concede there. Why you attack 1v3 hero? Did they? He's having fun, he says.
Sir, they've a solid 200 points now.
Standing by.
Our allied structure.
Can the blue team hold on? I mean, they have a lot of stuff. But as we saw there, took out 2 tanks in that attack. Here comes another one. Business did get quite heavily depleted there though, down to just 3 units, although 2 beamy looters is pretty good to have. And a Nob squad, of course. Warboss is down though. And I don't think they're going to get revived. Just trying to buy some time. Trying to split the blue team up here with a power bash. It's Val.Hero. Looks like they're going to get a full bash. Sluggers are very low. Is it kicking off in the mid? Not really. Nob squad has found the Plague Champion. He throws out The Pestilence Strike also has Icon of Noble. Staying in play here is Val.Hero. Gets rid of the CSM. Can now finish the power bash if they want to. Looks like the light grenade got a hit in there. Back to the mid though. Couldn't quite decap the VP. They were so close there. I think it was Catachins that disrupted them. 2-1. Still ticking. But they're on the VP and they're putting lots of pressure on this Predator tank here. An unmarked Predator tank from Rostam. Double tank busters. You saw the Icon of Noble do some damage as the Plague Champion retreated past them there at level 9. I don't think, not completely sure, but I don't think the damage of the Icon of Noble scales with his health, unfortunately. There's Touch of Noble on some heretics and the Mega Rumbler. Maybe they can get this Predator, maybe. That's a mark of Noble Predator too. They're so close to getting it. Down it goes. Well played. Well played. And they decap the mid. Great play from Val.Hero. Bashed the power. Got one of the tanks as well. Caused some good old Orky havoc. Trying to get a decap on these level 4 shooters, but there's too much stuff there. Level 7 and level 10 Plague Champions. What about the Inquisitor? She's level 9. Crossbow bolt pistol, most likely to help control the enemy Nob squads. Although there's only one of them now. Here comes another one. Nope, cancelled. It's a looted tank. Some looted tanks now. I guess why not, right? They don't have a huge amount of anti-vehicle. They do have Plague Marines and the Dreadnought, which are hard AV. Nurgle tank, some soft AV, I guess you could call it. Much like the Lehman Russ. Needs to get kind of close-ish. More commandos for Cry. Orks are losing stuff in each of these tussles though. They make ground, but they do lose stuff each time. 2-1 again for the blue team. Some repairs from the Plague Champion. This guy's not helping repair stuff. King of Pythons should be repairing here. There we go. I think he's maybe doing it now. Let's attack together, says Val.Hero. Wait for wagon. Says business, I think. They cancelled their tank. They want a battle wagon. Fair enough. It can be tough to harass the VP because of how close it is to the middle here. I mean, we saw the Orks do it. Well, try to do it. They didn't actually get a decap. But it can be tough in late game here to get on that. Great unclean one on the way for Python. That's going to be cool. Still no land ready for Warboss. Look at the resources of Panzer Battalion. They've got 90 population. They can't really get anything fancy up. Can't get another vehicle up really. Warboss is level 6. We still have the 2 beamy looters. We have double commandos and they both have their Nob leaders. This guy has a rocket launcher too. So maybe they can go after one of the tanks again. Here comes that battle wagon. An expensive thing. Orks pushing us south with a looted tank. This looted tank is very, very far forward here.
Our allied structure is under attack.
Bashing node again a bit. Marco Zinch Dreadnought at level 4. 1331 hit points. Tank busters are there. Dreadnought doing a good amount of damage per volley though. Look at that, it's 2 volleys. And a level 1 tank is at a half health, now a quarter health. That one didn't seem to hit very well. And they do get it. It was very strange for Val.Hero to push the tank up that far, I think. Knowing that there was a Dreadnought and stuff. Yeah, it seems like the Mekboy gets the Mega Rumbler going a little bit too late in each of the fights, eh? Maybe they can use it to get the Dreadnought. Weird Boy does decent anti-vehicle damage. Looks like it's far enough away. There's a foot of Gork though. Oh, that would have hit pretty well. Light grenade goes in. Meanwhile, in the mid, great unclean ones here with a bunch of Daka. Blastmasters getting shots. There's your battle wagon. Weird Boy throws that stuff to safety out of the Manticore. That's a good throw. Just use Foul Slayer on the Warboss, but I think the great unclean one's done for. Down it goes immediately. Not sure how much work it did. It is going to explode. do tons of damage to enemies and heal allies. They need to get away from it. Uh-oh, those looters are setting up in a bad place, and they're wiped out by the explosion. 17 to 56. There's a Nurglite Imperial Abyss again, like the 5th one we've seen, I think. Surprised we haven't seen a Rocks for a little while. At least I haven't noticed one. That's the Mekboy down on that VP there. Perhaps they could, well, the Mekboy is down now, but perhaps they could infiltrate the Mekboy with the hide the boys and get a decap that way. Blue team are trying to grab the mid. Pestilent Strike is doing the business for King of Python. Battle Wagon is done for. Just barely took any damage getting that cap there, the Plague Champion. Now it's Commandos going for a decap. They do have that faster decapping trait, but down they go. That might be GG. Karai's down to a single unit. 2 other players down to 3. I mean, they did some damage in the back lines. They certainly did. And got a decap with the Weird Boy. Look at that. I think he's going to get away at level 4. I think. Got light grenaded. But it's going to be okay. The Catachin is now using the Battle Wagon's Husk for some heavy cover. 17 to 50. It's going to be a 2-1 again for the blue team. Orks are trying to hit the VP in the back, but it's tough. Warboss charging in. Is this the 3rd Battle Wagon we're seeing here? I think it is. Plague Champion goes down. Warboss mixing it up. Level 8. Goes after the Plague Marines. Looted Tank again pushing up really far on the south side. Just trying to lend some fire support, but needs to be very careful as we saw before. There's a Nurgle Predator there. 17 to 30. Manticore.
Is that it, sir?
Looks like they backed off from it.
Champion is ready.
Successfully, yep. Nob Squad is in here, level 4 Nob Squad, so they can maybe get a decap. But they're decapping the wreck point. Warboss is going for the VP, I think, at level 8. Maybe. Gets hit by Purgatus. Takes tons of damage. Really surprised that the Nob Squad is decapping the wreck point here. They're actually going for a cap on it. Down to 11 VPs. They should be on the VP. And with Frenzy up, they could have got a decap, perhaps. I mean, the Blastmaster might have knocked them back. There's the 1-1. Trying to get that central VP under control. Here comes the Nob Squad now. Use your choppers on them. Going after the Plague Marines there. Looted Tank goes down. There is a Beamer Looter Squad somehow in here. Getting shots too. Weird Boy goes for the cap, but he's very low on hit points. That Weird Boy goes down. The Weird Boys were awesome in this game too. Looks like they're both going to fall. Yeah. Oh, there's still one alive, is there? No, he's just exploding very slowly. Nob Squad are going to take a tank down. 7 to 3 on the VPs. 1-1 cap. Blue team do indeed have the mid. There's no pressure on the red team's natural. But it's the Inquisitor that's capping here. Because she's capping first, they can't stop the cap without shooting her or disrupting her. And there's a Chaos Terminators coming in. Karai has no units left. And the Nob Squad are wiped. I mean, they went for it. They certainly did go for it. Warboss might be able to kill that Plague Champion. Down goes the Looted Tank. That was Aura of Decay knocking them back there. And 3 VPs remaining. Gets the victory for the blue team. A hell of a game. Level 10 Inquisitor. Level 10 Plague Champion. Level 10 Plague Champion. Level 5 Commando. Level 9 Warboss, sorry. And a level 10 Mech. Manticore did a lot of great work. The Lehman Russ was amazing. The Weird Boys were fantastic. They just couldn't quite get the pressure on this VP here when the blue team had just so much stuff in the mid. The Plague Champion's Fist made it difficult to get onto that VP. Blastmaster kept them at bay. Maybe more stick bombs. The stick bombers seem to do really well. I mean, it's one of those games where they didn't really do anything fundamentally wrong. I mean, they lost stuff, of course they did, but that happens in a 3v3, everyone did. Just tough. They hit a wall. Its Panzer Battalion was especially very strong here. It was at 90 pop for ages, just couldn't get anything else on the field. And Inquisitor did a great job at controlling things. Had crossbow, bolt pistol, Hammer of the Witches, of course, and Purgatus. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hell of a game. And I'll see you next time.